Mr. Transformers 96 here for the video review. This time we're going to talk about a newly shown Star Wars Day May the 4th be with you product. This time it's from Iron Studios and it's General Grievous. Possibly the first Star Wars statue from Iron Studios. I'm trying to, from what I'm aware, and I probably should have done some research beforehand, but from what I'm aware, I have never seen them do another Star Wars statue. If I had to assume, I believe this is their first one that they've done. I recently got on a huge kick with Iron Studios. I've had Iron Studios statues for, years now, but really I've had like the same two forever. But this year I had some that I had on pre-order that came in, and I just loved them, and that got me on a big kick of buying their statues. So I have now almost 20, and just a couple months ago I had 2. So I really got on a big kick with them. I think they're a great studio. They produce some wonderful products, and it's very exciting to see this from them, to see that they're branching out and doing Star Wars, which is very cool. And, starting off with Star Wars, one of my favorite characters they're doing too, General Grievous, which is great. So I have a major issue with this statue, and that's the price. I'll get to that at the end, though. Let's just talk about the overall design of the figure himself, the statue. Overall, he looks awesome. As you can see, I, love their base kind of environment pieces. I think it looks really nice. I like the fact that it's like a piece of a ship that's crashed and it's kind of sticking out of a rock formation, and then he's climbing on top of it, about to like jump down at some Jedi. That's just kind of the look of the statue that it gives, which I think is really cool. Overall, General Grievous looks great too. We'll get some close shots once we get a 360 of the wide view. But here we have a little closer image of Grievous himself. Overall, I think the sculpt looks really nice. I think that it's well detailed and well proportioned. I think that there's a lot of life or lack thereof in those eyes. I think it looks very cool. I like the organic pieces around the actual physical eyeball. It almost has like a wet look. They kind of did a gloss on it, which looks nice. I also do like the fact that it's a physically fabric cape and not something that they actually sculpted. So I think it looks pretty good overall. They're kind of hit or miss on whether they're sculpted or they'll do fabric. I have statues. I'm trying to think of how many actual statues I have from them of people with capes. I guess I only have 2, and one's sculpted, one's fabric. I have Hela, who has a fabric cape, and I have Thor from Endgame that has a sculpted cape. So sometimes they do sculpted, sometimes they don't, which is kind of interesting. But I think a real fabric one for him is a solid choice. Detail on it's very nice. It's obviously then removable and very easily removable. Oh, you know what? I also have Mysterio that's also sculpted. But having it removed kind of gives you a bit of a different look there. He looks very cool. I think that having it on looks a little bit more impressive, but I guess if assuming he's kind of fighting in the field, in an environment, he probably wouldn't have the cape on, so this may be a little bit more in character, I guess, but I like the cape look better. The way that he's holding his lightsabers looks pretty good, except for the fact that he's holding them so low. Is this... I've never noticed it in the movie. I mean, maybe it's accurate, but it looks really odd to me. I wish that he was holding them at a higher level. This one looks okay. It's a little hard to see. This one, though, he's holding it at the very end, and then same thing with the green one there, too. Holding it at the very end, which I'm not a big fan of. Some closer detail, as you can see, liking the... kind of the worn yellowish brown kind of spots throughout the white kind of bone sculpture. I think that it looks very cool. Having some lights in the actual lightsabers would have been neat too, I will say, but no lights. Overall, though, just a fantastic looking piece. I do like these kind of shots where you get like a bit of a comparison. First of all, it gives you all the dimensions, which is awesome, but then you kind of get to see how large it is compared to a person. So looks like a rather large statue as well. So overall, the statue itself is great. The only thing that I could really say that I would have liked to see, other than them pushing the lightsabers down a little bit so he's holding them more naturally, is a more extreme pose. I think that Iron Studios is fantastic when it comes to posing, and they do great extreme poses. He's in a nice pose here, don't get me wrong, I like it, but I would have loved to see him kind of in air, about to attack type thing, while this is kind of like gonna do his monologue first before he jumps down at him, but I'd like to see that jump in sculpture form. So overall, though, great statue, I love it. My issue with it is the price. This statue is going to retail for $350, which is insane for this company. just to put it in perspective, when it comes to, you know, the Marvel statues that they do, that's what 90% of my statues from them are Marvel. Their Endgame line, the statues were about 120 probably, or somewhere a little bit cheaper, to maybe like 200, I think, is probably the max that it went when it came to the original Endgame line. So this is a huge jump. And then when you take a look at big characters, because, you know, Grievous is large, he's thin, but he is tall. So height-wise, this is a nice height statue-wise. But, you know, he's so thin that it's not like it's not going to be a very heavy statue. But let's compare it to Cole Obsidian, okay? I don't think anybody can argue that Grievous is bigger than Cole Obsidian or anything like that. Their most recent Cole Obsidian just came out, and it retailed for $250, which is on a very high price point for them. And that figure is so much bigger than this guy. Just height-wise, he's larger. But when it comes to his bulk, he's so much bigger because Grievous is a twig, you know, he's super skinny, and Cole Obsidian is just a massive, bulky character. I mean, his Cole Obsidian's weapon is probably more plastic than the body of this Grievous, to be honest. Body and legs and everything, and arms, you know. So to have this one be $100 more than that one doesn't make any sense to me. It seems like whenever Iron Studios claims it as a deluxe, they just automatically price it really high. The only thing that would make sense for that price is if, like, this entire thing was die-cast. I know they use die-cast in some pieces, usually in the weapons of the figures, but I've never seen them do a whole statue die-cast. Let me actually take a quick look, just make sure that isn't the case. Okay, just wanted to make sure. Nope, it's not die-cast. It's just their normal kind of polystone. So overall, this thing's incredibly overpriced by almost like 50%. To be honest, this should be a $200 statue, in my opinion, because 200's, you know, on the higher end of what they're doing, so it makes sense. He's a tall character. And, you know, maybe Cloth Cape bumps it or something. I don't know. Hela wasn't any more expensive for her Cloth Cape, and that one was like fully posable, had a wire in it. This one might as well, but I just think that this price is outrageous. Honestly, it's about $150 overpriced, and it's $350. So that's, you know, almost half of it. Overall, love the statue. Think the pose could be more dramatic, but the statue itself I think is fantastic. Price point is insane. I would not recommend this. I think that your money would be best served elsewhere. There's other Grievous products that are more price accurate. Who knows? The sideshow figure of Grievous, that might have gone up in price, but I think that was like a $200, maybe. No, I think that was like $240 figure. That's an amazing figure. I would just get that one if you can over this. So there you go. That's my thoughts on this new Iron Studios General Grievous product from May the 4th be with you. So let me know what you guys think of it, and May the 4th be with you. And you have a great day now.